Manchester United 1, Brighton 2. In the last 12 games we played with Brighton in all competitions at Old Trafford, we've not lost any. We've won 10 and drawn 2. This time round, we've lost to a team that is nowhere near us in far as history is concerned, and we are really losing stupidly like that because we are not getting in the players that we wanted. Last season when it was starting, you remember, we are really craving for a midfielder at Manchester United and everything went badly like that, and the same thing is happening to United again, and the midfield is abysmal. Remember, this midfield had Pogba, Nemanja Matic, and Juan Mata, and we always said we are not good enough. We are not good enough. We needed a midfielder who is better than that, who can offer us something more in there for you. But again and again, the same song is being sung at United, and we've lost our first opening game of the season. Obviously, United won, Brighton 2, the way that Erik ten Hag wouldn't like to open up his season like this, and we've gone ahead to lose to Brighton by 2-0. Smash the like button, comment and share. United have lost their game. We are going to give you a full dissection of this game of football as United again and again. The Mark Freddy curse, the Freddy and Scott McTominay curse is really causing everything at United in there for you. The midfield was abysmal. You get to an extent that the manager reached an extent of getting Christian Eriksen, who is not a CDM, and played him into the holding role of the midfield. It shows you that we are not good enough. We are not good enough to go into this season. I know we are going to go in and really maneuver some results in there for you, but if at all you can't really get a result against a side which goes by names of Brighton, and the midfield but has been won by Brighton. 2 weeks from now, we are playing Liverpool. Aren't you worried, guys? Aren't you worried? For my case, I'm worried. I'm worried because we are playing Liverpool in the next 2 weeks. After Brentford, we are playing Liverpool. And even Brentford itself, we are playing out Brentford. Their physicality is way up there. You get? You've seen the spirits they've really shown when they are drawing the side which goes by Leicester. Leicester was 2 goals ahead of Brentford in the first half, and Brentford came back and really leveled that game. Aren't you worried? Of the two teams, United and Brentford, who is really going to be so much fired up? Obviously Brentford, because they've gotten a result from behind against Leicester City that we couldn't get against a side which goes by the names of Brighton. The midfield of United is abysmal, and I don't know what exactly is running in the head of Erik ten Hag, but he is getting glimpses of what the Premier League is all about. I think in his head, he's asking himself, why isn't Frank de Jong here? And I would be surprised if at all by the end of this week, or by Wednesday, we've not signed in a central defensive midfielder. Because this game, we lost it because of the midfield. That's it. That's when you saw to it that when we got Danny Van Beek and Eriksen into that midfield, you saw us starting to pass that ball as the manager wants it to be passed. You get? Because we never had a reference in that midfield. And obviously, Eriksen is not that. Danny Van Beek is not that. We need a person or a player who is good at that. I've always again and again told you that Scott McTominay and Freddie are good to be bench players at United. They are not players worth to start in this game. They aren't. Mwepu and Caicedo are far much better than our defensive midfielders. That's why you see to it that each and every time they had the ball, we couldn't win a duel over them. We are really lacking the CDM role. I've always overcalled upon that onto this channel that we need a central defensive midfielder. If we don't get in one, guys, hear me out. If we don't get in one, we are in for another humiliation. And if Erik ten Hag trusts Scott McTominay and Freddie to go on and really deliver what he wants, we are dead. We are dead. You get? We are gone. To me, people are talking of the centre forward. People are talking of the right back. They're talking about Anthony. My dear, we need 2 midfielders. Not even one. Not even one. Frankie de Jong is enough because when he gets injured, who comes in to play as him? Who comes in to play as him? If I'm Erik ten Hag, Obviously, I get these players known into my starting 11 against Brentford. I throw in James Garner in that midfield. I throw in Danny Van Beek and Eriksson. They are the ones that start in my midfield. I don't start Freddie. I don't start a player who goes by the names of Scott McTominay because they are not good at that. The second goal, you saw what Scott McTominay did. We considered that goal. He lost possession because he was trying to do something that he cannot even do. He's technically down. He wanted to go through 3 midfielders in the midfield. And we dropped the ball. And when we dropped that ball, it was switched to the left flank. They cut inside. They really put that ball into the box. And then we conceded the second goal. It shows you how bad we are. Decision making, Scott McTominay badly off. And by the way, Scott McTominay, talking about him, we are even blessed, guys. He would have been sent off. He would have been sent off in the 30th minute of the game because he went high. He went high onto the shin of the player of Brentford. That was Caicedo. In the 30th minute, Scott McTominay deserved to be sent off. VAR just played in the favor of Manchester United, but every time your boot goes up to the shin of a player, obviously that is a straight red card. I don't know whether they have changed either for you, but Scott McTominay shouldn't be a starter at Manchester United. And how do you get Scott McTominay out of that team of United not to start? Is by getting in players who are better than him. If Frankie de Jong is here, Scott McTominay doesn't start. You get? If you have in Tielemans, or Paredes, or Sangare, or Ruben Neves, he does not start. He doesn't start. So, lots of things have to be done at Manchester United. And let this be a lesson to Erik ten Hag that the Premier League is not a joke. It's not Eredivisie, it's not Bundesliga, it's not Serie A, it's not La Liga. Here in the Premier League, every team has quality. We've just been outmatched. And people would say that in the second half we played very well. I tell people that, why did we have to play very well when Brighton started to play a deep line? When they were not pressing. They are giving us chances to have the ball. But every time they wanted to have that ball, they really got it. The only time I felt like, we are now in control is when Danny Van Beek came on the field of play with Eriksson in that midfield pivot, and then we could put up a couple of 6-7 passes together and spread that game wide. That's it. But these players at United, and secondly, I now know why we are in for Cody Gakpo. That's it. Look at Rashford today. Someone has really mentioned about it in the comment section. Goes by names of Box, says Rashford is a championship level player. I will believe that he's not a championship level player, but he doesn't need to start. I told you when I did a video yesterday about Garnacho that Garnacho is better than Rashford. If Garnacho got into those positions that Rashford really got himself into, he would have done something better. The first opportunity where Ronaldo beat the offside trap of Brighton, he crossed that ball to find Marcus Rashford. Rashford had Sancho in his mirror. The goalkeeper was near him. It was a matter of passing in Sancho, and Sancho nets into an empty net. That's it. He couldn't do it. Even the simplest tips of football, Rashford is green about them. He's green about them. I don't believe that he's a championship player, but I really believe that he shouldn't start. We should get another player. That's it. We should get in another player. You get in circumstances like that, 2 goals down, those opportunities you're not supposed to miss. Those opportunities you're supposed to bury directly to the back of the net. The second one, Bruno Fernandes lays that ball to find him. He's alone and he tries to slide into that ball, yet he had time to control it. Those are basics of football. Those are simple basics of the game. That's why we believe that Ten Hag wants in Cody Gakpo, because he has known that even Rashford can't do what he wants. You get? He can't do what he wants. So, we believe that a big sweeping is supposed to be made. If I'm Erik ten Hag, some players don't start in the next game of Brentford. I don't give them a second chance because they failed me on the first game, in my first competitive game on the Premier League. They failed me, moreover at Manchester United, at Old Trafford, and we've been beaten by Brighton by 2-1. in the for you. Too many substitutes, standard quality players in the for you. Yep, we look at the substitutions we made. Every player we brought on had quality. Garnacho had quality. Danny Van Beek had quality. Ronaldo had quality. You get even Malacia. So we need to get in players who are really good and having the quality. You get Rashford shouldn't start in the next game. He shouldn't. He shouldn't, because you have to send a message in his head that we are a big team. And when you are 2 goals down, you shouldn't miss out on any chance. He didn't put up enough effort. In that first chance he got, see what Ronaldo does. Singly does it immediately, quick passing. Rashford faces the goalkeeper. Then Sancho is out there alone, showing him with his hands, please give me that ball. He's too selfish. He's too selfish. I told you that the reason as to why on any day I bring in Garnacho, if at all Cody Gakpo or any other players don't hear, is simple. It's simple. Rashford is selfish. You get? He costs this team a lot. You get? He costs this team a lot. And amidst everything that's going to be talked about this game, each and every time you're going to see those highlights again of United playing Brighton, Rashford is going to be mirrored every time he misses that chance. Secondly, when did you see him putting in an effort? You get? Luke Shaw was exposed very many times. Rashford couldn't track back. He couldn't track back. How many times did you see Rashford tracking back to help Luke Shaw? If Eric Ten Hag, if Martial comes back, I play Martial on the left side of the attacking midfield and Ronaldo leads the line. I put Rashford on the bench. Each and every person who has hope in Rashford, guys, I'm not here to slate him or what, but I like Rashford, but he has failed to improve his game. And the reason as to why he's not improving his game is because he doesn't do the basics of the game. He makes simple things look hard. That's it. Where he deserves to put in a pass, he doesn't. Where he deserves not to shoot, he shoots. He does not cross. He does not create. He's good at running. Whom has he beaten by his pace today? Which player of Brighton has been beaten by the pace of Rashford? Tell me that player. Tell me that player that has been sat down by Rashford. No one. No one. Even Sancho, who is just returning from injury, did better than this man. He did better than this man. You get? Alright, I'm having very many people commenting about this poor performance of United because we needed these 3 points to really cut off the pressure. But I'm telling you, guys, you might think that I might be not in my right senses, but at the other side, I'm liking the result. I'm liking the result. Do you know why? The fans demonstrated today against the Glazers. You get? The Glazers don't want to pay money for Anthony. They're delaying the deal of De Jong. They're not getting in the manager 3 players he wants in right now. I think after this loss, obviously, a statement to be made by the board is to deliver signings this week. Signings should be brought in this week without further ado. If at all we don't get in signings, especially in the midfield area, then we are really gonna be beaten. Even the game of Brentford, we can lose. Their physicality game is way up there. If you're having Freddie and Scott McTominay in your midfield, expect not to win these games. Let me show you our next fixtures, because you might think that Rokani is just biased about this, but United is not all about losing to Brighton. We are all about winning our fixtures. Let me show you our next fixtures, guys. Let me show them to you, and to show you that we need reinforcement as soon as possible. We need it. The moment you drop Ericsson to play into that area of the midfield, then it's a confirmation that you are done and have no other opportunity either for you or another chance. That's it. That's the message you're sending to yourself. Let me show you these fixtures. Let me show you our next fixtures, guys. We've lost to Brighton 2-1. You get? We are playing Brentford on Saturday. You get? 19:30 hours. You get? Then we are playing Liverpool at Old Trafford. We are playing Southampton. We are playing Leicester. We are playing Arsenal. We are playing Crystal Palace. We are playing Leeds. We are playing Man City away at Etihad. And we are playing Everton. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In our next 9 fixtures, guys, I'm telling you this. I'm not a prophet of doom. If we don't clear out those mistakes in our midfield, we are going to be beaten. Guys, we are going to be beaten. We are going to be beaten, guys. If you think we can beat Brentford with that midfield, we are not going to beat them. If you think we can beat Liverpool with that midfield, we are not going to beat them. If you think we can beat Southampton with that midfield, we cannot beat them. You saw Southampton play against Spurs yesterday. You get? They went on target fast, but because Spurs is really a good team in the midfield and everywhere, they came back and really beat them by 4-0, 4-1. If at all we cannot come back at Old Trafford, 2 goals down against Brighton, how are really a revelation into that defense. They're really a revelation into that central defense, and they really boast out Matata, Jordan Ayew, and Eduardo. You get? They bust them out. They bust them out totally. So guys, it's time. The Glazers got their checkbook. They broke the bank to get in the players they want. Look at Chelsea. Look at what Chelsea is doing. Chelsea has gone ahead to sign a left back at £62 million. Then people here are complaining that United doesn't want to be ransomed. If at all you don't want to be ransomed right about now, then get out of this club. The Glazers, get out of this club. Again and again, I've really come here and really felt some of pity for them, but this time around, no time to waste with the Glazers. If they cannot break the bank and get us the players that we want, why should they be here? If Anthony is £70 million, bring him here. Pay that money and get us Anthony. If Ruben Neves is at £60 million, pay that money, get him here. Because that midfield can't take us anywhere. It can't compete. If you can't compete against Brighton, last season, let me check. Let me check the table of last season and really see how the standings were. The Premier League, I want to see, where did this team finish last season? Premier League table 2022, 2021, 2022. That's what I want. I want to see where Brighton finished and show you that we can't compete. If we don't really change this team, then we're not going to compete. That's it. Smash the like button, guys. I'm going to come and read your comments. Guys, let me show you Brighton. Brighton finished 9th, guys. Brighton finished 9th. Brighton finished 9th. Now, a team that finished 9th, we can't get a result out of it. After losing Yefis Besuma, have you heard? They've lost Yefis Besuma and Chichirela. They've lost their 2 best players. But we can't beat this team. We can't beat this team. We can't beat this team. Very ashaming. Very, very, very ashaming. Very ashaming. You get? For me, the best start I really want to see is a win. If I don't see a win, people also had the majority, all had a lion's share of the possession. Fuck the majority share of the possession. What has it given to us when we couldn't even get our forwards onto the ball as they're supposed to get that ball from us? We shouldn't praise such things in this juncture because we are really losing. What United is all about, United is all about winning. Someone will tell me that the opening game of the season is not always easy, but in the first half, did you see anything like Ten Hagish? We are not Ten Hagging. We were sorcering. That football we played in the first half was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's. That was not Ten Hag. And even in the second half, I doubt whether we Ten Hag because Brighton decided to sit back. They never came for us. That's why I think we got those chances. I want to see this team, if at all it's good enough, from the word go, when a team like Brighton is pressing high up the pitch, when you're really closing them down, our intensity has to be way up there for you to see to it that we really close them down every time. But our intensity was abysmal. You get? We couldn't press in the first half. We couldn't pass. We couldn't defend. We couldn't attack. The best thing we did in the first half was not getting a red card. Because Scott McTominay, obviously, that deserved to be a straight red card. Our intensity was really low. We couldn't match the intensity of Brighton, and Brighton outpassed us. I saw them do one-touch passing close to 7 times. And the sequence was complete. No one showed that we really needed to win. Trust me, no one. This performance is uncalled for. We can't bear this. We can't stand this. We need midfielders at Manchester United. Before we think of the share scores or what, tomorrow, if I'm Eric Ten Hag, I storm that board of Manchester United and tell them, guys, I want De Jong. Tell me if I'm getting De Jong today or not. Then I tell you another player that I really want. That's it. We need a central defensive midfielder in this team. And not one. We need two. We need two of them. Let me see what my comments are really telling me. Let me see what people are telling me in the comment section. I'm having Vidic Ricky. Oh my God, this man, you alright, you have every reason to say that because this team is really a typical joke. Then Box says bringing on them 3 subs in the 9th minute was pathetic. Oh no, I think for the substitutes, I also didn't agree with Eric Ten Hag. That's it. I really believe that we would have made these substitutions far much earlier. Danny Van Beek deserved to be on the pitch on the 46th minute of the game, meaning that at the commence of the second half, Danny Van Beek was supposed to be into this game of play. That's it. Ronaldo was supposed to be in that field of play. You get? Take off Scott McTominay, take off Freddie. You get? Bring in Danny Van Beek. You get? And Ronaldo. Danny Van Beek to play in the down midfield pivot with Eriksson, then Ronaldo leads the line. 45 minutes. But to me, Ronaldo really looked unfit. He's really unfit. That's it. Because I saw him bend down after playing just 20 minutes. That's unusual of Ronaldo, meaning that the manager is right not to really start him in the foyer. But a substitute needed to be made at the beginning of the second half to make a statement that I'm not happy with how you guys have been playing. Freddie lost possession 4 times in dangerous areas that could cost us goals. Diego Delo lost possession close to 3-4 times. This is not what United is all about. We are not all about losing possession. We aren't all about losing games. We are all about dominating our game of play. In the second half, we at least came in through and really showed this. But why would Eric Ten Hag take all those minutes to come in here and really make a substitute? I really believe Ronaldo was supposed to come in 45 minutes either for you. Then a player who goes by names of Danny Van Beek was needed to come into that game either for you. Luke Shaw, 9th season here, he should be sold or benched. To me, I've already made my decision on Luke Shaw and Malacia. I really believe that Malacia should be our first choice centre back. I saw him, a fullback who can't cross. You get? He can't really put up a perfect pass. You get? He can't really play so much into the half spaces because in the system of Eric Ten Hag, his fullback needs to operate so much in the half spaces, not the wide area. The wide area should be left for Marcus Rashford or Elanga or anyone who's be playing that side. But Eric Ten Hag wants his left fullback to operate so much more into the half space. The half space is between the wide area and the center. That area in there for you. That's what I'm talking about. That is the area where Eric Ten Hag needs his player to go in and really operate much. You get? That's where he needs with them to go in and operate. You get? So these players of Manchester United are really so much annoying, and I'm 100% sure that we are really going to see more and more worse performances if at all we don't really get some players off the pitch. These players need to be sold. Some needed to be benched. Some are not good enough to start for Manchester United. That's what I'm really here to talk about in here onto the channel, which goes by names of United Matters channel. Smash the like button, comment and share. We are really continuing to really go through your comments for you as I really go in and bring it back. Ten Hag needed his wake up. He's foolish. He can't think he can turn Scott McTominay into Zidane. But they've talked about Zidane. People are saying that Zidane is young, but trust me, today Zidane Igbo or James Garner would have done a better game than Scott McTominay. That's it. To me, Zidane Igbo, James Garner would have done a better game. And this is where the injury of James Garner costed us. If James Garner played all of those games from that of Liverpool to that of Melbourne to that of Crystal Palace, I really believe that he would have given a better picture to that manager that plays. I'm better than what you've got. I'm better than what you've got. I don't believe in any way that a player in the names of Scott McTominay or Freddie can start into the CDM. Why do you really play a player who is not a CDM, yet you're having a player who can play as a CDM? And this is where I go to Erik ten Hag and blame him. Why do you play a player like why do you play a player like Scott McTominay, who is not a CDM, when you have James Garner on the bench who is a CDM? You get? Why do you play Freddie as a CDM when you have a player like James Garner who is better than him? You get? Football is not all about age. Football is all about quality and ability. Zidane Iqbal can come in and really get us to the level that we don't even expect. If at all he was on the bench, I think the manager would have been get tempted. And Ten Hag has been given a wake-up call today. As Box has said, that is a wake-up call for the manager of Manchester United. He should go ahead and know that United is not all up to this. We're all about winning, and we should get in players who are really better. And Rico is telling us that Scott McTominay better than... Not really. Scott McTominay no way better than Zidane. Guys, what has Scott McTominay done today? If at all he was better than Zidane, why didn't he put up a performance? If Zidane was on that field of play, you would have seen him really helping us, holding that ball, and really passing through the central axis. Why is it that when Freddie and Scott McTominay are playing that midfield area, we didn't see United dominating the midfield or really doing passes through the central axis? Why is it that Eriksen is first dropped into the midfield area, and then we start to see United playing through the central axis of the midfield? You get? Guys, don't come here and say that Scott McTominay is better than Zidane. By the way, for me, I can even sell Scott McTominay and stay with Zidane. Zidane is young, 19 years of age. His ceilings were up there. He just needs confidence and to get a better player to play with him in that midfield to give us what we deserve. That's it, guys. Smash the like button, comment, and share. Rico says the result is good, so the result is good. So fans get the reality slapped. It's a process. Non-Ten Hag, Harry Potter, money to playing well. Guys, Rico, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you. This is not all about the players that have not yet come in. It's all about the players who are on the bench, who are better than what the manager picked. I agree with his starting 11 he really picked up, but why did he not take off Fred and Scott McTominay at the beginning of the second half? Because they're abysmal. They're abysmal. It took him close to 7-10 minutes to bring on Ronaldo and left Scott McTominay at the field to play. Did you see what Danny Van Beek gave to us when he came on through? If at all Danny Van Beek played some 30-40 minutes in this game, we would have turned this result around, I tell you. I tell you, because Brighton came in the second half and said, all right, let's sit behind and really wait for them to come. You get? That's it. Then I'm having Tupac. I don't like what Rashford is playing. I need to sit down on the bench. That's it. I've already talked about Rashford. On any day, I don't start him. I don't start him because he is still a player who has failed to learn. He is failing to learn what to do on the field of play. That's it. That chance that Ronaldo gave him, instead of really going in to give it Sancho, he went, when the goalkeeper had closed him down, obviously he saw it with his naked eyes. The goalkeeper Sanchez of Brighton had closed him down totally. You get? He had closed him down totally. So, you expect me to praise Rashford? I don't, and I think he even played very many minutes. Another player that should have been gotten off this pitch early enough was a player who goes by the names of Rashford, who was supposed to be taken off immediately. At the hour mark, he wasn't supposed to be playing this game of football. According to me, he was supposed to be off the pitch. That's it. Then I'm having Thomas Donker. Thomas Donker says, United. He predicted 4-0. And United has been beaten by 2-1. Rico is saying, as Ajax fan, I can tell you right now, Ten Hag is known for doing useless substitutions in the 80th minute. For you. All right, let's wait and see how that happens. But I will believe that we should really be making substitutions early enough. Tony Keane says, complete shambles, no sign of improvement. I think in the second half, we saw what Ten Hag wants to be playing like. Playing a high line, pressing for you, and some good passes for you. But I really liked it more when Dan Van Beek came in through, because we really had a total control of that game. You get? Then Thomas Donker, Fred and Scotty are wasted midfielders in the EPL. This performance was colourful for you. So everyone will come in here and really throw slashes at those players because they are not what we want. They are not what should be that midfield. You get? The board should really deliver a central defensive midfielder, either De Jong or who, before Tuesday or Wednesday. We should go in and bring in a player. Tillman is out there, £30 million. Let's get him. Let's get him at Manchester United, because even when you bring in Frankie De Jong, you'll need another player. I can't see United play with that midfield in the game of Brentford, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City. Remember, all those teams are in our first 10 games. First 10 games. You get? There is even Leicester City and very many other big teams in there for you. Guys, do you handle United? Do you trust us going to get a result? I want Brentford next Saturday without a central defensive midfielder, or with Erik ten Hag picking Scott McTominay and Fred in that midfield. I would go for James Garner on any day. I'm telling you the truth. James Garner, Eriksson, Danny Van Beek. I go with that midfield either for you, because even Bruno Fernandes couldn't get us what we wanted. I don't know what's wrong with Bruno Fernandes. He was hooping all over the pitch like a headless chicken. That's what he was doing. The only positive thing Bruno did was that cross he delivered, and Rashford couldn't really control it and decided to slide in it. That's it. Tell me any other positive thing Bruno did. Nothing. Nothing. Did nothing. Did nothing. To me, I really put Bruno on the bench. In the game of Brentford, next game, these players don't start in my team. 1. Bruno doesn't start. Which other player? Rashford doesn't start. Scott McTominay doesn't start. My double midfield pivot, I play Ghana as a CDM and Freddie as a box-to-box midfielder, then Eriksson ahead of them. That's it. That's how I can play. I can't really entertain this nonsense. I can't. If I'm Ten Hag, I don't bring those players back on the field of play because they were not good enough in there for you. Rico says McTominay better than Zidane was scam. Didn't think I had to clarify. Alright, thank you for clarifying, but I was worried that if there is a Manchester United fan out there who thinks that Scott McTominay is better than Zidane Iqbal, then you should go and check your stats and watch these two people play. Zidane is 100% better than Scott McTominay. If at all he was brought on the field today, 10 minutes of Zidane would have summed the entire career of Scott McTominay. That's it. That's it. I'm not sending in a banter to Scott McTominay and his fans, but Scott McTominay is not better than Zidane. On any day, I feel Zidane ahead of Scott McTominay. And I just want to see one day when Ten Hag says, alright, let me try out something new and fresh. These players shouldn't be trusted by Erik ten Hag. Don't trust these players because they are going to let you down game in, game out. That's what these players feed on. They feed on changing their spots. You get? As Roy Keane told you that Leopards don't change their sports. These are Leopards, Ten Hag. These players have been here since Jose Mourinho, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Rangnick. 4 managers have been here and they've been soothing these players and think they can go on the pitch and really improve. They've not. They've not. They've not. Go with what you feel like is right. At the time, by the way, I thought that, alright, why don't we really drop Lisandro Martinez in the central defensive midfield to play with Eriksson, get in Rafael Varane to partner with Harry Maguire, then you push a little bit. Because we looked shamble into that midfield. We looked bad. We looked bad in the first half. We looked bad. Nothing showed that Erik ten Hag was the manager or in charge at the beginning of, at the entire first half. Erik ten Hag was not the manager of Manchester United. He wasn't. He wasn't because nothing Ten Hagish was seen into that first half. That's it. Then Dennis Musinguzi, I'm a Ugandan fan of United. Scott is a fake midfielder. Guys, when we come here to talk about this, it's because we've been having players at Manchester United who have been playing the midfield, whom we know are so much better at this. You can't tell me to decide with Scott McTominay, yet I knew that United had Roy Keane. We had Paul Ince. We had players like Michael Carrick. We had midfielders like... which other midfielder? We've been having good midfielders. We've had a midfielder like Paul Scholes. Those are midfielders I'm talking about. You get? I'm not talking about these shambles midfielders in there for you that you guys are here nursing. I cannot trust Scott McTominay and Freddie after getting this stupid result, because that is where we lost the game. We lost the game because of the midfield. And their recovery was so much abysmal that even when they lose that ball, they couldn't really recover to really go ahead and really retain that ball and close those people up. You get? Then I'm having Thomas Donker. Donko is sad now, but are also excited because we need to buy. Obviously, the Glazers tonight are shivering. They need to get that checkbook, sign it, and get us players that we need. That's it. They need to get us players that we need at Manchester United. You get? Then Joffrey Casillo, we need to play Van Beek instead of Scott McTominay. Obviously. I don't know why Ten Hag is believing in Scott McTominay that can get a job done better than Danny Van Beek. Is it because Scott McTominay is really energetic so much, he's mugged up? But football is not about that. Luka Modric couldn't have been humbling players who are really mugged up. You need a player who is good on the ball. You need a player who has a technique. Scott McTominay doesn't have a technique. He just runs around like a headed sick on the field of play. He is technicalless. He's not technical. You don't need a player like Scott McTominay in here for you. For Freddie, if at all he's playing alongside a decent CDM, he can deliver, because Freddie, if you want to get the best out of Freddie, he has to play a box-to-box role. He has to play like a box-to-box midfielder. He shouldn't be played as a CDM or a sitting midfielder. No, you need to get in a sitting midfielder, then you let Freddie really thrive through that midfield in there for you. Then Thomas Donko, Bruno was bad first half, but second half was perfect. No perfection for him. What did he do? Apart from that cross he brought in that Rashford missed out, what else did Bruno do? Bruno needs to be wiped up on the back. He needs a wake-up call. And how do you give a wake-up call to people like Bruno? You just get him out of your team and really feed another player. That's it. Rico says, I would have a midfielder of Martinez as CDM, Donny as box-to-box, and Eriksson as a 10. Right! A big applause to you, Rico, you've said something that I was really talking about in the last 5 minutes. That in the next game of Brentford, I bring in Eriksson, Dan Van Beek and James Garner. But if I told you already pushing Martinez in the CDM role and then put Varane to Maguire, then that's okay. You're right. The only reason for Scotty I can think of is his height. Height doesn't matter. Let me ask you, how many aerial duels has he won? You can force me right now to go to SofaScore and really show you how Scott McTominay has really gone ahead to really battle it out. Let me go there, because I wanted to bring this up into what we call the player ratings. You get? Let me go to SofaScore specifically for Scott McTominay. Let me go there and really get you the results. Let me get you the stats of this game, man. Let me bring them straight to your team. Because Scott McTominay is really abysmal. If at all they bring him in the field because of his height, what has he done for us today? What has he portrayed? What has Scott McTominay done today? Nothing. Manchester United, where are you? All right. You see, that is the pitch. As it was. Where is Scott McTominay? Show up yourself. And I wonder how they're giving him 6 out of 3. What has he done? What has Scott McTominay done to get a 6 out of 3? All right. Let me bring this. Let me show you the stats of Scott McTominay. Do you see? Aerial duels won. He won 1 out of 1. But if we are putting Scott McTominay on the field of play because of his height and out of the aerial duels that we are so much in favor of Brighton, that Scott McTominay has won 1, then why should we have him on the field of play? Grand duels, 5, he has won only 2. You get? Possession lost. He has lost possession 12 times. Guys, we are talking about a central defensive midfielder for United, or a central midfielder, losing possession 12 times. 12 times. That's uncalled for here at Manchester United, guys. Say this guy has performed. There is no Scott McTominay is going to get even a 3. A 3. Why should I? Not a 3 out of 10. He can't get a 3 out of 10 in my player ratings. He can't. Look at the dribble attempts. You get 1 successful, 0. And that's where we really lost, because after he lost that ball in the central midfield, they broke us, caught us on the break, beat our press, and obviously, we conceded a goal. This guy shouldn't be starting for United, guys. I'm bringing this because I wanted to come here and really talk to Rico, that because of his height is nonsense. It does not help our team. By the way, most central defensive midfielders are not tall. Central midfield is all about the brain. It's all about the brain, guys, and pure game reading. Look at his heat map. Look at his heat map today. Look at it. Look at it. You don't see it centrally in here. It's supposed to be here. It's supposed to be operating in here for you. But look, he does so much run onto that the side. He really leans so much onto the half spaces. He's supposed to be playing the central axis. That's why you're being played in here for you. Let me show you. Let me bring you. Where is Ericsson? All right. Let me show you what a central midfielder does. Have you seen the heat map of Scott McTominay? Look at the heat map of Ericsson. Look at it. Look at it. He was so much acting centrally. But Scott McTominay, let me show you his heat map. This is the heat map for Scott McTominay. Look at it. Look at it. Not even red in it. Not even red in it. But that of Ericsson, it was operating here. Look at Scott McTominay's here in the half spaces. You are supposed to be playing into the central axis. That's where we expect to see most of the activity either for you guys. Don't take me the player ratings because that's going to be another video either for you, but this is abysmal. The performance of United is uncalled for, and trust me, let me go into the stats because I really feel like I should come to the end of this video because you guys have a lot of things to do either for you. Let me bring in these stats for you because you need to know how United really performed in the entire 90 minutes. All right, we are back. Lastly, 17 shots by United, 15 by Brighton. 5 shots on target by United, 4 on target by Brighton. 5 out of 17, very bad. 63% possession by United. That's not something that Erik ten Hag would like. We'll have to be having 70, 80 plus, either for you against Brighton, either for you, especially when playing against a side that is not even sitting back, a side that is really there to really bring the ball to you. 537 passes completed by United, 320 completed by a team which goes by the names of Brighton. Then we're having 82% by passing accuracy by a side which goes by the names of United. 70, I think, would have gone to 87, 88, 89 there for you. 7 fouls by United, 12 fouls by Brighton. 4 yellow cards to United. It shows you how bad we've been, and that means if each and every time you see your team getting very many yellow cards, it shows you that they come late to those tackles. That means their intensity and pressing is not enough to really threaten the opponent to really throw that ball or really control that ball badly. 0 red cards, 3 offsides for United, 1 for Brighton, 6 corners by United, and how many corners for a side which goes by the names of Brighton? There are 2. Let's see the table. Where is United? Where are we? Oh my God. Where is United? All right. United is 14th. Are you seeing it? We are 14th. We are 14th. Guys, that's how our season has started very badly, but it's a blessing in disguise for me that this board should know that we needed more players. I'm having a comment. The only reason the Donko David, the guy Martinez was so good. Yeah, Martinez played very good, but there's no reason to talk about other players that played very good because we've lost. Why should we talk about them? The players that played very good, David Gea put in a very good save, but he really put up a very bad ball in there for you. But he put in a very good save for the first goal. Secondly, Lisandro Martinez played very well, according to me. Diego Delo had a decently good game. But the Sancho had a very bad game. I think Sancho is not yet back to where I expect him to be. I think that illness he had that really saw him out in that game of Atletico Madrid has not yet really seen him get back to where I suppose we saw him in the preseason. That's it. Because there are spaces that he could have done something better, but not. That shows you that we need Anthony. We need Anthony because after Sancho playing 60 minutes without delivering, then you bring in Anthony. Anthony plays off the right and take off Rashford. Sancho plays off the left. He cuts inside and brings in his magic in the view. 12 laws, all right. Then Jackford says, you talk a lot. He does that coach tell him to do. No. You can't tell me that a manager who was coaching Frankie de Jong in that double midfield pivot role at Ajax is telling Scott McTominay to go on and do that. That's out. That's out. That's out. You can't tell me that a manager who was coaching Frankie de Jong and right now is wanting Frankie de Jong is telling Scott McTominay to go on the pitch to do that. That's out. That's out. Guys, do you agree with him that Scott McTominay is doing what the manager tells him to do? That's out, guys. That's out. For that, we can even argue till kingdom come. That's it. But that's a total lie. That's a total lie. That's a total lie. Rico says, I don't care about squad height. I'm just thinking what could have been the reason Ten Hag played him. I don't know. I also don't know. And trust me, if he sticks with him in the midfield, we are going to lose another game. Trust me. If we don't get a midfielder in, either Frankie de Jong or Tielemans or Sangare or Paredes or Ruben Neves or is it Ruben Diaz, in the game of Brentford, don't expect a better display from United. Unless otherwise, he brings in James Garner, he plays him alongside Danny Van Beek, then Eriksson ahead of them. For that, you can have a better display, that's it. But United shouldn't go in here and have a Scott McTominay as a player starting in this team of ours. That's abysmal. It's really a disgrace, you get, to players like Paul Ince, to players like Roy Keane, to players like Paul Scholes. You get, you can't be having a midfielder like him. You can't be having a midfielder like Scott McTominay. No way. Even when he's playing as a box-to-box midfielder, very many midfielders at United are better than him. That's it. Then XX says, you need to be a coach. He does movement. That's not out. You mean the coach told him that when you get that ball, when there are three players, you go through them. That's what Ten Hag told Scott McTominay. That's not, because he did that exactly for us to concede the second goal. That's what he did. You can't tell me that. Ten Hag told him that when you get that ball, even if there is a forest of legs, you just go past through them. He can't tell him to do that. He can't tell him to do that. He can't tell him to do that. That's out. Don't tell me that he's telling him to do that. That's out. Bashir Sendagire says, please let Rashford be on the bench. Obviously, he should be on the bench. So guys, thank you very much for watching in. Smash the like button, comment and share. Your reactions are really welcome in the video. But I'm returning back with the player ratings. I'm returning back with what the manager is saying about this game in the video as we lost to a side which goes by names of Brighton. Thank you guys for watching in. I go by the names of Rock and David. First game going back for Ten Hag. And let's wait and see what this week is going to go in, because the statement put out there has shown us that we are not good enough. We aren't good. That's it. We are not good enough, guys, in the midfield especially. Because the midfield is the engine room, and if at all you lose the midfield battle, obviously you lose the game. That it has orchestrated very well in the first half that all of the goals we conceded, it was because of our midfield was out of position. I wish I could get that picture of how our players were when we really conceded. We can't get that picture. Where is it? Can I really get it? Because that picture orchestrates exactly what United really had into this game of football. We looked horrible in the midfield. We looked horrible. That's it. If there is the best way to term it, I don't know, but obviously we've lost this game of football. Not the start we wanted. We've been battered by Brighton. 1 goal for United, 2 for Brighton. United only scoring that goal, that is really stupid. I cannot celebrate that goal because how many teams can you score such a stupid goal? The goalkeeper comes in, he misreads the flight of the ball, you get? Then it hits back on Delo's back, you get? Then it goes in goal, and the player of Brighton really hits it into the back of the net, and it's an own goal. We couldn't even score. Guys, we couldn't even